How's it going, everyone? Data here, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode series here on NHL 26. Today, moving into episode number 26 for the 2032 postseason here in year number 7. In the last one, it was an outstanding end to the season, year number 7, as after the first half of the year, with a 44-win pace, we said something's not working here. We had fired Jared Bednar, we brought in Rick Tocchet, things were looking a little bit better, we changed up the lines, and boom! 52 wins to win the Eastern Conference for the first time of the GM data era and finish second in the NHL behind the wagon that was the Edmonton Oilers with 59 wins. But still, a lot of stats that were some of our best. Our highest scoring season at 3.8 goals for per game through our 7 seasons in Detroit. Our best power play by like 8% with a 28% power play. Pound and kill was okay at 83.6. Goals against was decent as well, 2.84. As you can see on the right side of your screen there. Second in goals for, fourth in goals against, second in the power play, penalty kill 14th, all right. It was a career year from Lane Hutson, who's getting better with every passing season in Detroit. 90 points and 84 assists. It should be a Norris Trophy for Lane Hutson, cross those fingers. Dylan Larkin scores 41 goals at the age of 35. Lucas Raymond, very slow first half, but a great second half to end him off with 70 points. Nathan McKinnon, 67 points in that one-year deal he signed with us. He wants to chase a cup, and that's what he's doing. ASP, 67 points as well. Love it. Two of our top 5 scorers being defensemen. Tuukka Riisanen, 40 goals and 65 points. Once we changed up the coach and the lines and everything, he ended up hitting 40 goals for the first time in his career. Ricky Sierra, 35 goals and 63 points from him. And the big one, Eli McCamey, who's on pace for, am I right in saying, I think it was 38 points after the first half of the season? Boom, he ends with 62. So I think he was just a little bit over point per game in the second half, like 43 points in 41 games, something like that. Getting moved to the first line with the line fit, with the Rick Tocchet. Very good to see from a guy that we were thinking about maybe we're going to have to trade him out. And he's not 100% safe yet, but great to see that the potential for production is there. Nikita Kucherov, he picked him up when offense wasn't doing so well. He played most of the season, 50 games, 38 points as a Red Wing. Love it. So a heavy veteran presence there between Kucherov, McKinnon, Larkin. Fyodorov is the big question mark moving into the offseason. Yes, he won the Calder Trophy and scored 10 goals and 17 points as a Stanley Cup champion once upon a time back in 2028. But since then, 4 points in 5 games, great. Then 2 points in 6 games, and last year 0 points in 7 games. So Fyodorov in his last 13 postseason games has 2 assists and is a -9. Not to mention, like we just said, 48 point season, as we just showed, I should say, playing 18 minutes per night as an 89 overall. He did get better in the second half, as we'll talk about in some of the comments, but still issues. Then, as we'll just scroll down here, Moritz Seider. Noah Hannafin, who we picked up at the deadline, just not a throwaway, but kind of like let's see what happens with him being on the third pair. And wow, are we glad we did that. 18 points in 18 games as a Red Wing, plus 16, playing just 14 minutes per night. Noah Hannafin, at 35 years of age, did a lot for that blue line, so let's keep it up, buddy. Hannafin looking for his first Stanley Cup as well. Bear did great in his limited role, 10 minutes a night, 16 goals, 31 points. Santala was a bit disappointing, I have to say. Corvo in his rookie season, Edvinsson, Wellwood in his rookie season, Petrov, Stenlund, and then for the goaltending, 2 solid options there between Carter Essler and Nikita Ponikarovsky. Essler went 26, 13, and 2 on the season. As a Red Wing, you picked him up a couple episodes ago in the first half. 25, 8, and 2 as a Red Wing, 1 shutout, 918 save percentage, 2.55 goals against average. And Ponikarovsky in his rookie season goes 14, 4, and 1 with 1 shutout of his own, 916 save percentage, 2.35 goals against average. And Comesso, his third goalie, was nothing special. So, great things to see in year number 7. Our second winningest season through 7 years in Detroit. Our highest scoring season, our best power play season. And now we'll move into round 1 against the Panthers, a team we faced back in our Stanley Cup run. We played them in the second round of 2028 and beat them in 7 games. Now we face them in the first round of 2032. So before we get started, we'll look at the AGM thoughts left in the last one. Not too much to say, more about some contract ideas and potential line permutations, but in general, very pleased and excited for the postseason. Gavin said, hey Data, that's what we like to see. That great second half brings me confidence headed into the playoffs for the first time in a while. Especially, don't forget, we have 3 consecutive first round exits. Yeah. I've got to give it to you for that Hannafin pickup. I was a bit skeptical at first, but wow. I almost want to keep him on the third pair just because it's working so well, but obviously, he'd be the the first guy up if anything goes wrong. I also like that 4x4 for Petrov, and although I'm getting flashbacks to Wallstedt and Augustine, that Essler extension makes sense too. Thanks, Data, and see you in the playoffs. Thank you, Gavin. Cheating heel, love the turnaround, kudos for that. To be honest, with how we ended the season, I wouldn't touch the lineup apart from maybe trying to get the pony kill going. I think our only real decision is who's in net, and I'm not sure there's a right or wrong answer. Both goaltenders were great, and I guess that if we're about to commit like $6 million to Essler, it's only fair to test him and give him the first shot. Not the commitment, but the first shot. Also, if anyone struggles to put numbers on the board, I would give zero hesitation to give extra ice time to guys like Larkin, McKinnon, and Kucherov, who we see simulate so well in the top 6, and hope their poise gets us clutch goals. But hopefully our first line keeps scoring and we don't have to resort to that. Fyodorov is probably the one we have to keep a closer eye on. He finished strong, but playoffs isn't usually where he shines best, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just showed that. Let's go get that cup while we have those grizzled vets leading the way. I feel like there might be a lot of turnaround next offseason due to aging players. It's now or never for them. Thank you, Cheating Heels. A lot of other great thoughts that you would have seen at the beginning of this episode, and some more discussion in the Discord server about Fyodorov. So I'll leave it there for now. That's off-season stuff. Let's now get into the postseason. Year number 7 in Detroit. Through our previous 6 years, we've had 5 postseason berths, including 1 Stanley Cup victory, but 4 first-round exits, including 3 in a row. So we're rolling like this. Sierra, McKamey, Riesenen, Fyodorov, Larkin, Raymond, Fyodorov, big question mark, Santala, McKinnon, Kucherov, that depth veteran poise scoring, Corvo, Wellwood, and Stenlund. On defense, Hudson, Sider, Edmondson, ASP, Hanifin, and Petrov. And for the goaltending, we will indeed start Carter Essler if he's going to be our guy of the future and his wide shoulders. But will he stay there? EA Voodoo says probably not. All expiring, let's quickly offer those extensions as well. Hanifin, Larkin, McKinnon, Kucherov, all question marks for the offseason. But for Petrov, a lot of support, I would say, for the 4x4 that was being offered to him. We could try the 3 years, but you want to try and sign defensemen for as long as you can in franchise mode with how crazy contracts get. Very high organizational interest. So Marcus Petrov will send you the 4x4. And for Carter Bear, yes, we had mentioned him. We were saying 3 years at 1.2. Is that what Gen Z had said? Yeah, 3. I think that's fair enough to keep it from being crazy cheese, 8 years at 1 million or something. But for a guy who's been a bottom sixer, who we've enjoyed having, but it was tough to prove himself if he wants a bigger payday, 3 years at 1.2 works for me. We could probably even go a little bit cheaper, but let's be fair on Carter Bear. If it rhymes, it must be true. 1 year stays in RFA would be great. But I think, yeah, 3 years is fair. Then expiring UFA, could walk if he's not happy. All right, so Carter Bear, who's currently injured. Hey, look at that, accepts the offer right away. Who's currently injured, by the way. So Carter Bear will be back in the lineup once he's healthy. Boom, he's extended. That's great. And Corvo, I'm going to wait on Corvo because I don't like that he wants 2 years at 2.2. I'd prefer to go 1 year. I don't know, 2 years isn't crazy. It comes down to what he wants, not what he's asking for. Let's just wait. He's the RFA, no rush on him. And for Carter Essler, also an RFA, no rush. But we seem to be on board for the 6x5.85. And was it the 16-team no trade? Yeah, 16-team no trade. Only eligible in years 5 and 6 of the contract anyways. So yeah, he'd be pretty interested in that. Could we even get it down a bit more? Maybe. But 5.85 is pretty fair if he'll be our starting goalie. 6 years for Essler on that. All right, fair enough. Carter Essler. We'll send that to him. Very good. And by the way, in extension dollars, we do have $25.4 million now, with that contract signed by Carter Bear. Okay, so let's do it. Game 1, round 1 here against the Panthers, a team we know from our Stanley Cup run. Like I said, back in 2028, we beat them in 7 games in round 2 on our Cup run. Kachuk, Barkov, Reinhardt on the top line, 34, 36, and 36 years of age respectively. Bouleris, Lundell, and Klepov on the second line. Verhage, Bennett, and Nason on the third. Samoskevich, a random 87 overall, Philip Tomasino, and Alex Turcotte on the fourth. So a lot of veterans on this team, guys who were on the other side of 30. Defense, Forsling and Jones. Yeah, again, 34, 30, 35, 37. Koivisto, a rookie with Ekblad, who's 36. And White Cloud, 35, with Lindgren, who's 34. Yeah, heavy veteran squad. Jet Greaves between the pipes and Blomqvist backing him up. Only injury to Carson Lambos. All right, let's do this. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe as well for all of our series here on the channel. Live streams with all of our series. Hockey Legacy Manager 26, NHL 26. More recently, some hockey card content. A lot happening on the channel, and we'd love for you to be a part of it. As you'll remember, last thing thing I'll say here. The video is somewhere between an hour 20 and 2 hours in length. I always like to keep you guessing. More like an hour 20, hour 40, 45. If it does end up that we lose early and it's just like 45 minutes of black screen, letting that run in the background a little bit would be very much appreciated for the performance of the video. But I want to be reacting live with you. Who's going to score that first goal of the postseason? Rick talking between the pipes, behind the bench. First period, 1-0 Panthers. It's Nason, the 79 overall, putting Florida up 1-0 here at Little Caesars. Second period, 4-2 Panthers. Riesenen answers back to tie the game, but then Tkachuk, Sierra answers once more, wonderful within the first 5 minutes, but we allow 2 goals in the final 3 minutes. Bouleris and Ekblad, we're down 4-2, outshooting Florida 21-16. Thank you, McCamey! Is that his first career playoff goals? A Red Wing must be, and Lucas Raymond ties this game at 4. We need to have that comeback ability. Power play Panthers, Verhage power play goal, our weak penalty kill, killing us here, no pun intended. Power play Panthers again, this time we kill it off. We're outshooting them 30-27, 5 minutes ago. Power play Red Wings, killed off with a minute to go. No! Oh, we had a great comeback, but it's squandered by the power play goal, that we give up. We lose 6-4, tying the game at 4, and then losing it in the final minutes. A goal and 2 assists from Tuukka Riesenen. 5 goals against Carter Essler. Not a horrible start. We score 4 but allow 5. That second period, those last 2 goals, but we got through Jet Greaves, which was great to see. Man. And hey, look at that. Essler accepts the offer enthusiastically. So does Marcus Petrov. That's great. And Bear is back to full health. So we'll put him in the lineup in just a moment, just to make note as we'll move into the offseason thoughts. I guess I could say this again later, but I just want to get it into my head. For Hanifin, Larkin, McKinnon, and Kucherov, maybe maybe 2 of those guys stay. That would be $17.6 million. So we know that some will be moving on. Okay. We'll have Stenlund come out for Corvo. Sorry, for Bear, and Corvo will stay with Wellwood. And that will be the only change that we make. Fyodorov, -1 in 19 minutes played. Larkin, -2. Raymond, -2. No one was great. Let's not try and allow that game to make too many decisions for us. Let's allow Game 2 to do the talking as we have our second game on home ice. We can't drop both games at home. That is unacceptable. And I'll just let the players go from here. Boys, you let the playing do the talking. First period, and it's 1-1 after 20. ASP on the power play, and Koivisto answers back. Shots 9-6 for Florida. We got to tie this series. It is a must-win. I know it's game 2 of round 1, but I put this in a must-win category. Second period, 2-2. Bouleris on the power play, and Riesenen on the power play. All the special teams are clicking here for both sides. Shots 21-18 for Florida. It's a tie game, 2-2 into the third period. Power play Panthers. They've been lethal, but we kill off. There you go. Power play Red Wings. Big chance. Killed off by the Cats. 10 minutes to go. Shots pulling away for the Panthers a little bit. We haven't gotten a shot in a little while. There's one on net, but then that only one. Come on, more offense, please. Another late goal. No, yes! Reese's Pieces to Riesenen. Oh my goodness, that was necessary. Verhage scores with 4:11 to go. Tuukka Riesenen, the 40-goal man, scores with 1:54 left, presumably with a pulled goalie. Shots end 32-29 for the Panthers. 3-3 game headed to overtime. A goal for the Cats puts them up 2-0 in this series, headed back to Sunrise, Florida. But a goal for us will make this series a best of 5. Here we go. Early power play. Florida, please. No. Don't do this to me. Huge kill. No. Hold on. Hold on. Before I advance, hold on a second. Who's taking these penalties? Santala holding, Seider holding, gets out of the box, holding again. 3 holding penalties in 5 minutes. 2 from Seider, 1 from Santala. You're killing me here, boys. We kill it off. Good. A third one! A fourth, whatever it is. Well, let me pause this again. Who took... Don't tell me it's holding again. And now Edvinsson tripping. 4 minor penalties against Detroit. We're being outshot 43-31. Essler's having to stand on his head, support him, and give back for all that he's giving to you. Let's go. Final 5 minutes of overtime. Momentum's with us after all these kills. Final minute, and it's going to double OT. It's going to end fast. Double OT here in Detroit. We need one early. Let's go. Top Sixers, we're looking at you. Power play, Florida. What do you expect to happen when you give them so many power plays? Riesenen hooking. Shots end 47-35. Can I look at the penalty minutes in this game in total? Yes. The penalty minutes in this game, let's see. 4, 8, and 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 penalty minutes in this game. Almost a whole period played on the penalty kill. The penalty killers did their job. Moritz Seider plays 37 minutes. Who's negatives in this game? A bunch of negative ones. Tons of negative ones. Only 8:27 from Wellwood. 37.5 minutes from Moritz Seider. 35:51 from Hudson. Unacceptable. A must-win game that we dropped. Now down 2-0 in this series. And it's going to be a 4th consecutive first-round exit, right? We got to make changes. AHL, we make the playoffs. That's great. All right, time for changes after 2 games. Allowing too many goals, not scoring enough. Sierra with a goal, that's fine. McKamey, 4 points. Risanen, that first line won't change. Second line, Fyodorov, you're done. Larkin can stay with Raymond. We're going to put, should it be McKinnon or Kucherov? Probably McKinnon. We'll put McKinnon. McKinnon's second line with Larkin and Raymond. Third line will now be Santala, Fyodorov, and Kucherov, I suppose. Yeah, even Santala, -1. Kucherov has an assist. And then fourth line, Bear, -1. Wellwood, -2. Corvo, -2. All right, we need some of that veteran defensive ability. 3.5-star Kevin Stenlund, 86 defensive awareness. We're going to put him out here on the fourth line with Wellwood and Stenlund. All right, on defense, Hudson, -1. Seider, even ±. Edvinsson, +1. Moritz Seider, 8 penalty minutes in 2 games. +2 ASP. Hanifin, -2. Petrov, -4. I was about to say, where's Bernard Docker? We haven't seen Bernard Docker all season. He's been sitting there waiting to come in as 7th D. Let's get Jacob Bernard Docker in here. A simulation legend. He's been known to simulate well when called upon, and he's been called upon in the playoffs before. Stanley Cup champ, all played with the Red Wings, 41 games, 9 points, +9. Let's get him in here for a game and see what happens in game 3. And goaltending-wise, Essler hasn't been bad. You know what? I was considering Ponikarovsky, and I still am, but he did his job in game 2. That loss wasn't his fault. That being said, it's still an .884 save percentage and 3.8 goals against average. I think we continue with Essler, but it's tempting to give Ponikarovsky a look, I won't lie. All right, here we go at Amerant Bank Arena. If last game wasn't a must-win, then this one is. We cannot go down 3-0 against the wild card Panthers and then be on the brink of a 4th consecutive first-round exit. It would be like time to blow up the team, not let's make changes. It would be blow-up time. But hold on, we're not there yet. Game 3, let's get back in this series. First period, we open it up, and then 2-2 after 20. Lucas Raymond gets us the opener a minute and 11 seconds in. Then Barkov and Turcotte put the Panthers ahead before Santala scores with 43 seconds left. Thank you, Luca. Shots tied after 20, I think it was. Second period, no scoring. Shots now 26-18 for the Panthers. Third period, this 20 minutes will decide the next 5 years. It just might. Here we go. Who's going to put us up? We're seeing nothing. Thank you, Carter Bear! But we're still seeing nothing from these guys. McKinnon, Larkin, the veterans. 3-2 Red Wings. Power play Panthers killed off. 5 minutes to go. Up by 1. Way too close for comfort. 30 seconds. Oh my goodness, and we win the first game of the postseason. Shots and 40-29 for the Panthers. Essler makes 38 saves. Well done, picking up from where he left off last game. Raymond a goal and an assist. Carter Bear, welcome back to the lineup. He gets a huge goal. And we are back in this series officially. Whew, I gotta breathe, my goodness. So 2-1 series, and yet another game decided by 1 goal. I already forget, what was the score in game 1? 6-4, but plus empty netter. So minus that, every game of the first 3 games decided by 1 goal. All right, here we go. I'm still in the same boat of we got to keep winning these games. We can't go down 3-1 and then try to win 3 in a row after losing 3 out of 4. That's not going to happen unless we see a massive resurgence. But where's the passion? Let's do it. Game 4, tie the series at 2, make it a best of 3, headed back to Little Caesars, and it's a whole nother story. First period, 1-0 Panthers. Koivisto getting the lone goal of the period. Second period now, 5-2 Red Wings. There's the passion. Finally, Moritz Seider waking up. Ricky Sierra, Forsling answers back. Then Risanen on the power play. Sierra his second. And the captain, cuckoo, good morning, Dylan Larkin. Shots are just 19-18, but we finally break through Jet Greaves and score 5 in the second to have a 3-goal lead into the third period. I hope that's enough. Make it 4. Lucas Raymond, the touchdown is good. Extra point as well on the power play. Ricky Sierra completes the hat trick. His first career playoff hat trick, I would assume. I don't think that's ever happened. Nason gets a shorthanded goal. 3 on 24. 8 there's Santala. Okay. Shots end 33-25, and we win 8-3. Essler, not too bad, but 3 goals and assists from Sierra, a goal and 3 assists from Sider, and 4 apples from the Lane Train. 8-3 Red Wings. The first game not decided by 1 goal, and we have a brand new 2-game series. So we drop both games at home, but then win both games on the road. So the road team is perfect in this series. Goals against, both these teams are horrible in their goals against. Power play, we're doing great. Penalty kill, so-so. All right, so I won't touch anything after scoring 8 goals, but still too many goals from, not seeing enough goals, I should say, from other people who should be contributing. We haven't seen anything from McKinnon, anything from Fyodorov. I'm sure they're getting points. Not Fyodorov, of course. Kucherov has 2 assists. McKinnon, what does he have here? Just 2 assists. I'm still not convinced. Fyodorov, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone at this point. Maybe even take him off the power play. He's playing second unit power play, isn't he? Yeah. Second unit power play. And shout out to Jacob Bernard Docker, by the way, who's been our X Factor, I guess. Do we give more ice time to Wellwood, who's a sniper? Ice time to or no, you know what? Noah Hannafin. Noah Hannafin could get the little extra ice time boost here. Hannafin still hasn't done anything. At no points, -2. Come on, Noah Hannafin. He's been a machine. Let's give him that power play time and see if that does anything for him. All right, so series tied at 2. And high-scoring affair. Yeah, both goalies just not the greatest save percentages. Both over 3 goals against average. Greaves close to 4. Whoever wins this game will have a 3-2 series lead and a chance to end it in Game 6. The road team is perfect this postseason. We got to end that streak right here, right now. Back at Little Caesars. We're hot. We're ready. And let's get on with it. First period. I'm trying to think of some funny catchphrase, but I just got to, let's just sim. Kachuk scores in the first goal of the second period. Can't always have... 2-0, Samoskevich. Second period ends 2-1 as Moritz Seider gets us back into it. I have no cute phrases for us anymore. Go out there and do your job. How about that? Shots are 28-18 for the Red Wings, but we're down by 1 after 40. Moritz Seider getting us back into it. He was a star last game. Out shooting by 10, but down by 1. Third period now. Who's going to do it in that top 6? McKinnon. Fyodorov, maybe a sneaky goal from you. The shots keep racking up, and nothing going past Jet Greaves and his 4 goals against average. Power play Panthers. 5-on-3 killed off. 37-28. Final 5 minutes. Boys! Nothing in the third. Shots end 37-29. And we're now down 3-2 in this series. Greaves, 36 saves. Essler, 27 saves. And another game decided by 1 goal. Another game won by the road team. And we are now on the brink of elimination. What can be done? What can be done here? Ricky Sierra, 4 goals, 5 points. McCamey, 7 points. Riesen, 8 points. McKinnon, just 2 assists. Larkin, I mean, maybe we swap. Let's put McKinnon here. Kucherov to the second line, Fyodorov to the wing, Santala there. So Fyodorov, 1 assist, -3. McKinnon, 2 assists, -1. Santala, 2 goals, -1. All right. Fyodorov, McKinnon, Santala, third line. Kucherov, Larkin, Raymond on... Did you try it like that? Yeah, on the second line. Bear, Wellwood, Stenlund can stay. They're fine enough. Defense, Hudson, +5. Seider, 8 points, +5. Edvinsson, -1. ASP, -1. Hannafin, -2. Bernard Docker, even ± in 3 games. Got to give it to him. And Essler will continue. All right, there are the changes. There you have it. All right, boys, we cannot lose a 4th consecutive first-round matchup and against a wild card team. Don't just do this for the pride of who you are as a hockey player and for the people of Detroit, the fans. Do this for your future in the National Hockey League. We will trade you. I promise you, we will trade you for pennies. Fyodorov, I can't wait to make that trade in the offseason. But we're not there yet. Let's turn this around. They still have a chance. While they're still on this team, while they still wear this crest, Lucas Raymond, let's go! They still have a chance. First period ends 1-0. The first shot of this game went in. Shots 17-12 for Florida after 20. but we're up 1-0. Second period, 4-0 Red Wings. Yes, boys! The veterans are leading with the C's and A's on their chest, especially the A's. Seider scores his 9th point in 6 games, maybe more if he assisted on the first goal. Lucas Raymond scores again, and Carter Bear with great production on that 4th line. 8 seconds to go in the period. Thank you. Shots 28-25 Florida, but we're up 4-0. Sorry, times 8. We're up 4-0 after 40. Looks like we are slated for it. Yes, McCamey, a shorthanded goal. How do you do? We are on a collision course. Yes, let's just put it to bed. Recent in power play. Lundell gets 1. We are on a collision course for another Game 7 matchup with the Florida Panthers. We beat them back in 2028. Extra point is good. Santala on that 3rd line. Call it a night. 7-1 the final shots and 39-38 for Florida. Carter Essler stands on his head. 38 saves. 3 assists for Kucherov on that 2nd line. Yes. 2 goals and 2 assists from Lucas Raymond. All right, good line changes. I like that. Good line changes. We now move into Game 7. Game 7. Game 7. Here we are again. In the AHL, how are things going? All right. Against the Iowa Wild. Do we have anything to say? I don't think so. Boys, this is the last run for some of you. For Kucherov, I don't know if he'll even retire, but Kucherov, this is your last run, and I don't think he'll be coming back. I doubt McKinnon is coming back. Fyodorov, you're the most wanted man in Detroit. 1 assist, -2 in 6 games as an 89 overall. But these younger guys, Sierra, McCamey, Risanen, it is on your shoulders now. Look at this, 23, 23, 22. Look at that youth on that first line. Raymond, 30 years old. He's been here before. Larkin, 35. He's been here before. Essler, I know it's a lot of pressure on your shoulders as a 23-year-old, but your shoulders are wide for a reason, buddy. We know there's a lot of youth on this team, but a good balance of veterans. Let's do it. Game 7 at Little Caesars. The home team is 0-6 through this series so far. Essler versus Greaves. Barkov versus Raymond. Gentlemen, I leave the stage to you at Little Caesars in front of the fans who are hungry to see the Empire rebuilt. First period, and it's 1-0. Moritz Seider, the veterans putting it on their shoulders early. Shots 14-10 for Detroit. We're up 1-0 after 20. Second period now, 3-1. 3-1 Panthers. Lundell, Klepov, and Tkachuk score 3 goals in like 4.5 minutes. We're outshooting Florida 30-21, and we're down by 2. Horrible period, and we're down by 2. 20 minutes away from a 4th consecutive first-round exit, but we're not there yet. Power play, Florida. Yes! Lucas Raymond, I'm on my feet! Raymond and Seider scoring for us. We're back within 1. 13 minutes to go, power play Florida again. I'm going to count the penalty minutes after this one, and we're shipping them off to Guantanamo. Send them to the sun for all these penalties. All right, 5 minutes to go. I press pause, and it goes an extra minute. I'm going to eat you. Shots 37-32. It's not coming our way in the slow sim. We have to go absolute last resort. It's like that meme of Loki. You must be truly desperate to come to me. Yeah, that's what we are, going into the game to watch the slow sim. At Little Caesars, here we are with 4:05 to go. Let's mess with the sliders a little bit here. I'm actually going to swap Sierra and Raymond as well. I'm going to put Raymond on the right side for those one-timers. Risanen left shot there, yeah. Then Sierra left. Kucherov is also left. So, okay, we'll keep it like that. Not going to play with anything else. Just going to say shoot the puck, please. Block if we pull the goalie, but I doubt we'll pull. Energy. I'll let carry dump stay, whatever the coach's preference is, but shoot, energy, and block. All right, there we go. It all comes down to this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Who's that? McKinnon, big face-off win back to ASP. ASP across to Santala. Lucas Santala dumps it in. And what did I say about the dumping? Well, you know what? I let the coach's preference stay. But then they don't know how to go after it. They dump it, and then they just let the other team come out with it. Reinhardt stood up, double-teamed there, and then McKinnon dumps it in again. Can Santala go get it this time? Yes! Santala! Oh, almost got the shot away. Tkachuk coming back the other way. Neutral zone against ASP. Matthew Tkachuk walking in, no problem. Barkov blocked. Oh, goodness. Ponikarovsky is in for some reason. That must be a glitch. I bet they'll change. Could it be? Sometimes they do. Let's see. Yes, there it is. Classic glitch. Woohoo! Good old NHL 14 or whatever year it was glitch. And the starting goalie goes back in. All right, he had to go bathroom break, and Essler is back. Defensive zone faceoff. McCamey on the dot. First line is out. 3.5 minutes to go. I don't want to pull the goalie. Oh, great pass from Essler. Great pass from Essler to Matthew Tkachuk, who gets a shot on net off the faceoff. If that went in, my house would have come down. Okay, what was that? Riisanen has it. Great, thank you. Raymond, shoot Bello. Oh, whiffs on the slapper. Larkin loses that. Koivisto to Ekblad, scores. Anton Lundell tip. A little floater that gets a touch on it. And now we got to score 2 with 2:35 to go. Fantastic. So fed up with guys like Fedorov that just can't produce. McKinnon didn't do anything. Kucherov, a couple of assists. It's cool, thanks for nothing. Hanifin stopped point per game, then just forgot how to play hockey. Kucherov, Sierra, let's go. That's in. Here we go, Ricky. Number 3, Ricky Sierra. Over to Kuch. Got picked off by Koivisto. Kept in, good. Edvinsson, ASP, fans on his shot. What are these weak shots? What do you do? What? Why are you not getting that pass? Passes it to you, you just watch the puck go by. Bernard Docker, let's go. JBD, Wellwood, skates into his own net pretty much. Thank you. Santala to Hanifin, McKinnon, no passion. 87 overall Tomasino, there he is. Dumps it in. Santala goes after it. JBD. Give away to Tomasino. Klepov. To Wellwood. Gets quadruple teamed. Desperate times, desperate measures. Raymond fight. Alright, return. Smoskevich. Barkov. Fans on it. Hudson. Riisanen. No energy. No passion. No urgency. Just neutral zone battles. Alright, goalie's getting pulled permanently now. Hudson, big glove save. Our first shot in 4 minutes pretty much, right? Is that? I think so. Great defense. What an embarrassment. The home team goes 0-7. And the second best team in the NHL, the conference winning Red Wings, lose to the wildcard Panthers in 7 games. Losing in the first round for a 4th consecutive year. Time for heads to roll. That's all it is. It's time for heads to roll. It is time for heads to roll. It's an exciting prospect, but I think it's time to also put pressure on ourselves. Where if we lose in the first round for a 5th straight time next year, I think we have to say that we're fired at this point. What pressure do we put on ourselves moving into year 8? 1 Stanley Cup, awesome. But 5 first-round exits and 4 in a row. Jet Greaves, of course, becomes Hasek. And we're out in 7 games. I'm going to take a moment to compose myself. We're going to sim to the draft. We're going to look at the awards. We're going to think about a serious plan for year 8. I'm already thinking about the comments. Yeah, disappointing. So no production. Disgusting. Yes, it is. But it's time to already, it's been 2 minutes, forget about it. And we're not saying, okay, it's time for this guy to go. It's time for this guy to go. We are making multiple serious moves. I can't wait for the offseason. It was just already a big offseason. We got good growth from guys like McCamey, Sierra, Riisanen. They're going to continue being guys for us. But other spots, big changes coming. Like I'm talking 3-4 people in the top 9. Big changes. Coming to the end of the season now, I forgot that we'd given Lane Hudson an award goal to win the Norris, so I guess he won it. Shout out to Lane Hudson. Guess what? I won the Norris Trophy. Guess what, Dad? I won. Yeah, I saw you. I was there at the Las Vegas Awards, man. Being recognized as the best defenseman in the league is an incredible honor. Your challenge was a huge motivation for me. Thank you, Papa. Defensive awareness up 2, strength up 3, endurance up 4. Really, it's the defensive awareness that we care about. So, hey, Let's keep giving that challenge to him. Your hard work and dedication has paid off. This is a testament to the great season you had. Keep up the good work. All right, great. So Lane Hudson gets even better. Let's try and crack 100+ points next year. Why not? Buffalo Sabres win the Stanley Cup, and the Utica Comets win the Calder Cup. All right, salary cap up to $119 million. As we get to the draft now, Ottawa jumps from 12 to 2. That's crazy. Pittsburgh keeps the first pick. Anaheim from 4 to 3. Was that Calgary that dropped 2 to 4? Retired players, any of our guys calling it? Yes, Nathan McKinnon. Wow. All right, so Evgeny Malkin retires with 1,690 points at 45 years of age. He spent one more year after being with us last year in the AHL with the Toronto Marlies, really. McKinnon retires at the age of 36, 87 overall. Tries one more season with us after being in Colorado his whole career, loses in the first round and says, that's it for me. Pasternak, Duchesne, Scheifele, Reinhardt, a couple of Floridians there, Florida Panthers, Forsberg, Riley, Lindholm, Raquel, Verhaeghe, yeah, a bunch of guys from the Florida Panthers. That was a real veteran team that somehow beat us and then did nothing and everyone retired. Cool. Travis Sanheim, who we had for half of the season before we traded him in the Noah Hannafin deal, yeah. Mason Appleton, former Red Wing, same for Colton Sissons, yep. Anyone else who jumped out? I'm sure I've passed some players. And goalies, Korpisalo, Merzlikins, Ville Husso, former Red Wing. Yep. And there you have it. All right, there are the retirements for you in 2032. Matt Duchesne, now a coach. Retirements. Rick Tocchet retires. Wonderful. Our head coach retires, and 2 of our coaches in Grand Rapids retire as well. We are just clearing house. We are clearing house and changing so much here. All right, let's get into the ideas here. Question 1, start writing out your comments. It doesn't have to be a book. I know some of you like the books, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be. Question 1, bullet point 1, off-season focuses. Bullet point number 2, pause for a second. Let's just look at the progress reports. Progress report. So Hudson's still in 93. So Larkin 87, Kucherov down to 82, Hudson still 93, ASP 91, Chelios ready to make it. Yep. Bear 83. Risanen, Sierra, Hannafin down to an 82, really. Sider, Santala, Petrov 82. Okay. In the system, Ponikarovsky, Matvechuk up to an 80, Weeks to a 78. And sorting by this here, we see, let's see, Joseph 71, Richmond, Lapointe up to a 78, that's good. All right. Bullet point number 2, the draft. At the draft, we have no first, we have Vegas's second. So we have an early second, and then a late third, late fourth, late fifth, and a mid seventh. So that early second can hopefully be a top 6 forward or a top 4 D, unless we're trying to trade up with the value of Victor Fyodorov. Declan Kavanagh, franchise potential going first, similar to Guy Lafleur. Spooner, medium elite. Svitov, medium elite. Frank, medium elite. Flynn, medium elite. Top 5. A couple gems in there as well. Everyone I would assume is NHL ready. Yes. All right. From there, medium top 6s, medium top 4D. No one else I think I would trade up for, aside from the top 5. Oh, there's a couple of medium elite goalies. Jacques Saint-Denis, 5 years away, medium elite. And Tim Jaspers, 3 years away, similar to Braden Holtby. A- reflexes. I could definitely see us going after Tim Jaspers. Huh. Okay, that's rare to see 2 medium elite goalies at the end of the first round. We'd have to trade up for them. If not, actually, there's not that much. There's usually top 6s around here. There's a low elite Rakos, then medium top 4D, medium top 6 forward. Okay, so yeah, more into the late 40s. Medium elite goalie Schwartz, Jaden Schwartz, 5 years away. If we want to go with 3 years away, though, medium elite Hendry, Aiden Hendry, 4 years away. Similar to Dan Hamhuis gets a shout out here. All right, so a bunch of different prospects. Medium elites go as deep as, all right, so there's some good medium elites. Celios, Bordelot. We can take a couple goalies, one higher, one lower. A gem, Nathaniel Celios, 5 years away. Donald, Flaherty. Okay. The low elites, only one low elite guaranteed? Really? You know what? Our scouting wasn't 100%, but you know what? That's on me. I messed up a few scouts going. It was supposed to be like, oh, you have 3 scouts in the QMJHL, and this scout got assigned to a player, but then next round got assigned to a different player. So yeah, the scouting wasn't perfect, but that's okay. Adds a little bit of a challenge. It's still very good. A bunch of medium top 6s are there. Very good. Low top 6s. Yep. Okay. Lots of talent in this draft. Yeah, it's a high-low class, right? Or a low-high class? One of those. Some medium top 4Ds into the 50s. Low top 4Ds into the 100s. Very good. Moises Duffy. Medium starters. All right. So there's the draft. Bullet point number 2 is the draft. Bullet point number 3, contracts. All expiring. Larkin, Hanifin, Kucherov, the big ones. So Dylan Larkin will get his contract for sure. 1 year, full no-move clause. Probably looking at about 7-ish million. Probably 7.25. So we're looking at just a little under 10.5 million for Hanifin or Kucherov or free agency. But keep in mind, Fyodorov moving out, that's a lot of money as well. Hanifin wants 2 by 11. Yeah, goodbye. So Noah Hanifin was a fun pickup, but he'll leave. Nikita Kucherov, do we keep him as a veteran? I doubt it. You know what? At like 1 year, 2 million. Give him a no-move clause. 1 year, 1.8 million. Hard to say no to that. A fourth liner, Nikita Kucherov, fourth line plus second unit power play. Kucherov could stick. We do have a lot of good young players, but hard to say no to that. Corvo, I don't know about 2 years at 2.3. And then that's it, because for goaltending, we're set. Essler, Comesso, do we keep Comesso at 1 million? No, we're going to trade out Comesso. Unless, it doesn't hurt now, but then Richmond, that's a tough question as well. Richmond's going to need a contract. Ponikarovsky's still here. He'll keep growing as well. We have a bunch of medium elites in our system. We'll see who starts to take that step. Maybe we trade one of them in a package with Fyodorov if we're trying to move up in the draft. That's a possibility. Then in the system, who's growing? Stenlund will probably trade out Stenlund. And then Bochenski, Matvechuk, Weeks, Chelios, all guys, even Lapointe maybe, all guys who could make the NHL. So right now, and then the last bullet point, who's trade bait? Looking at forwards. Oh, you know what? Before we make pass judgment, I didn't even look at the points, the point total, the player stats, or the awards. I'm getting ahead of myself. So Lucas Raymond, Tuukka Risanen, and Moritz Seider all scored 10 points in 7 games. Shout out to them. McCamey with 9 and 7, outstanding. Hudson with 7 and 7. Larkin 6, Kucherov 6, Sierra ASP with 5. Now here's where the disappointments start coming in. All right, 3 goals from Santala, -3, whatever. Baird 2 goals. Wellwood 2 assists. That's actually not horrible from those guys. Bernard Docker 1 assist +2 in 5 games. Here we go. Fyodorov 1 assist, -4 in 7 games. So after his playoff run of 17 and 27, and then next year 4 and 5, the last 3 years, he had 3 points and was a -13 in 20 games. Fyodorov is out. 5-star puck skills, crazy that he doesn't produce. He'll go somewhere and produce like an animal. But 7.5 million will be added to our budget as well. So we're talking close to 18 million with Fyodorov out is our budget. Edvinsson 1 assist +1. Hanifin 1 assist +1. Petrov 2 games -4. Shake it off. Corvo 2 games -2. And then for the goaltending, Essler 3-3-1, 910 save percentage, 3.03 goals against average. Wasn't really his fault. In the awards, Sabres win the Stanley Cup. In the final, it was Edmonton versus Buffalo. Wow. All right. Individual awards. Nylander wins the Art Ross. Matthews wins the Hart. Lane Hudson winning the James Norris Trophy. That is awesome. Wonderful to see. Lady Bing to Matthews. Calder to Almqvist in Washington. Conn Smythe to Hellenius. Wow. Vezina, Jacob Fowler. Jennings to Fowler. Okay. Masterton to Lyubushkin, former Red Wing. Jack Adams to Andrew Brunette. The Selke goes to Hischi. Ted Lindsay to Matthews. And Rocket once again to Austin Matthews. Any awards down in the AHL? None. And the playoff tree, of course. Let's see. So Florida lost in 6 to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. There you go. After beating us in 7. Okay, so yes, who's in, who's out on that third bullet point? Who's in, who's out? Forwards. Fyodorov absolutely is out. So 1, 2, 3 Risanen. 4, 5. We need a top 6 forward. Because 4, 5, whatever, some permutation there. Larkin can stay second line center. Third line would be Santala, Bear, and Chelios. Could it be? Then fourth line, no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Santala, Wellwood, and Chelios on the third line. Bear, Kucherov, and Corvo on the fourth line. But then where does Bochenski or Matvechuk go? Let alone Lapointe and Weeks. So I do think Bochenski and Matvechuk probably need to be in the NHL. And if they do, I think maybe Santala goes then. Could it be? He didn't have a really good season. His postseason 3 goals in 7 games. Maybe Santala is out, but he has a great extension about to kick in. $2.5 million for 2 more years. But just I don't know if we have the space. 2-star defense. Now, I think Santala would be out then. So if Santala is out, let's redo this again. One more time looking at the forwards. 1, 2, 3 Risanen. 4, 5, top 6 addition. And then third line, Chelios, Wellwood, fill in the blank. So the bottom 6, we should say, is a mix of Bear, Chelios, Kucherov, Wellwood, Corvo, Bochenski. But then what happens with Matvichuk? Does that mean we can't keep Kucherov? Or then we maybe trade Corvo? We don't have to trade only players who are horrible. We could use a good guy like Corvo in a trade that gets us someone that we really want. Who's that top 6 guy we're going to get? And then on defense, Hudson, ASP, Sider, Edvinson. Does that stay our top 6? Our top 4? I think it does. On the third pair, Petrov stays, and then Streit will come up, yes. So I think Petrov, Streit becomes our third pair. Bernard Docker stays as 7th D. Hanifin walks. So defense, not as much of a question there. It's the forwards. And then goaltending, I would think we stay 3-headed monster of Essler, Comesso, and Ponikarovsky. Really, Essler, Comesso we could trade if we need the space. And now, next bullet point, pending free agents. Who do we consider going after, especially of the UFA forwards? Caden Lindstrom, potentially a UFA from Calgary. He hasn't simulated very well, though, I have to say. Yeah. Seth Jarvis, Will Cooley, Alexis Lafreniere. If we're looking at centers, I don't know so much. But then Ryan Leonard could be a big force here. 2-way forward, physical guy, 5-star defense. Ooh, that's really nice. 74-point season there in Washington. Aho, Nylander, Zegras, Siplikov, Dvorsky, Strome, Dorofeev, Eichel, Novak, McLeod, Heineman, Protas, etc., etc., etc. I would say just from a quick little perfunctory glance, Ryan Leonard jumps out at me. Alexis Lafreniere, Will Cooley, physical guy. How does he simulate? Okay, Stanley Cup finalist there. Alexis Lafreniere, there's the production from him. Seth Jarvis might just be a bit too expensive. But again, if we get his rights, but how much money can we commit? I don't know. Do we go after the big guys? Or do we look at more the 86, 87 overalls? I don't know. Leonard is really tempting. We have to look at what they would even cost. And then on defense, just to show you, these are the potential UFAs. Cole Hudson out there. And goaltenders. Okay, then even maybe just a little peek at the RFAs. RFA forwards. Who's this guy? Ladislav Sekera on a Bad Flames team might be interested. Chubasov going always these 1-year contracts at a time. But I'm not sure he's the answer to our problems. How's his ice time been? Pretty low. I wonder in a first-line role, or sorry, a top 6. Nah, I don't know. Just throwing out ideas for all of you to think about. Seneca, Bouleris, Alexis Joseph, Valentini, Scantlebury, Murata, Coots, Musty, Harper, Rubric, Hellenius, blah, 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 for you to look at. And the last bullet point, I believe, yes, let me go ahead and save the file here. The last bullet point would be looking at the draft and saying what picks are available, what could we trade for, what could be possible. All right, NHL draft. I wonder if Ottawa wants to trade their pick with that big jump. Yes, they do, from 12 to 2. So getting the second pick could be an idea. Picks 2 and 7. 2, 7, 14 are all on the block. So if we were to say we won't get that medium franchise guy unless we trade for 2, then we trade for 1, but that's going to be almost impossible. If we get pick number 2, do we go for Tristan Spooner, who's a playmaker, A+ puck skills, Svitov, sniper, A+ shooting, similar to Solani, wow. Reese Frank, 2-way forward, A+ shooting, A+ puck skills, similar to Joe Thornton, or Joel Flynn, A+ shooting, similar to Jeff Carter. I think Svitov stands out to me a lot. More X Factor. Spooner's a year younger, even. Tough call. If we even do that. If we traded for 7, it would be one of these medium top 4s, or top 6s, sorry, or we trade for one of those medium league goalies. So just to see what would it cost to get the 2nd overall pick, we'd be talking a Fyodorov swap here. Trading to a divisional rival, though, eesh. So Fyodorov for the 2nd overall pick, that won't even be enough, and they'd be over the salary cap. So Fyodorov and what? Carter Bear has a lot of value. Do we need to capitalize on Carter Bear's value? He just had a strong season, though. Maybe he's a 3rd liner? Consider that. If we say Fyodorov and Santala, that probably gets it, but then we need to take back some money on their side. If we look at their most expensive guys. Shabbat, when move him... Expiring contracts. Emil Heinemann and Kotkaniemi, not enough. So I don't know if we could do it with Ottawa. Maybe we retain salary even. But even then, throw in Brindley. At this point, they might do that. I won't offer it, but they might do that. But do we want to trade Fyodorov and Santala for the second overall pick? I don't know. In general, let's also see what's out there on the trade blocks. Keep in mind the trade values of the guys I just mentioned. Fyodorov has a lot of value. Guys who have surprising value, maybe. Santala, good amount. Okay. Looking at trade blocks now, sorting by overall. Here we go. Anaheim, prospects. Boston, Tomas Hertl. Buffalo, nothing too special. Calgary, nothing. Carolina, Ahu's expiring, but he doesn't want to come here. Jackson Blake, 87 overall. Interesting production. 64-point guy, Jackson Blake. Everything has to be on the table. 16.5 minutes in production like that. Tough contract. Not that bad. I thought it was 8.17. 6.17. Okay. Chicago, Colorado, Braz, whoever that is. All right. Columbus, Dallas, Edmonton, Novak, Zetterlund, Luostarinen, and Frederick all on the block in Edmonton. Novak, 86 overall at 35. 35 goals from Tommy Novak. What? 70 points out of nowhere. Shout out Tommy Novak. All right. Florida, Tomasino, Samoskevich, Bennett. Don't want to trade with them. LA Kings, Minnesota, Eriksson Ek, and DeBrusk. Canadians, nobody. Predators, Chesley. Prospects in New Jersey. Huberdeau, there he is on Long Island. Berggren, Colton Thompson with the Rangers. Senators, Flyers. Okay, some young players with the Flyers. Penguins, Poitras and Mangiapane. San Jose, not much. Seattle, Philip Bystedt, 86 overall. 5-star defense, Philip Bystedt. Neighbors, Furcus, Roy. St. Louis, Mathieu Joseph. Tampa Bay, Toronto, Utah, Vancouver, Garland, and Pettersson. With the defenseman, Elias Pettersson. Vegas, Suzdalev. Washington, nobody. Winnipeg, nobody. So really not too much on the blocks. If we were to say, I don't know, we really want Seth Jarvis, does he have a no-move clause? Some of these guys, if we're looking, sorry. Jarvis, yes, modified no trade, would not want to come to Detroit on the modified no trade. Another guy, like let's say Ryan Leonard. Ryan Leonard, no trade protections, not a lot of value, wouldn't be a difficult thing to do. There was also Lafreniere, would be open to coming to Detroit, and then Cooley was in Edmonton, right? Will Cooley, actually no trade clause, so we can't come. That doesn't mean we can't get them in free agency, but wouldn't be able to trade for their rights. So that does it, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to needing a new head coach, there are a ton of changes coming for year number 8, which is a do or die season for us. 4 consecutive first round exits. Yes, we're winning games, 2 50-plus win seasons. The fans, they're upset, but they're not, calling for our head just yet. I'm sure some are, but it's time to place ourselves, I think, on that hot seat we were talking about a couple episodes ago. So Fyodorov out, Santala out. What value can we get from them? Fine trade, I doubt, would show us anything. There weren't a lot of high-value pieces out there. We can get 2 firsts from Philadelphia for Fyodorov. 22nd and 23rd overall. Back-to-back first-round picks. That is very interesting. With Santala, I doubt anybody has an offer for us. No. And Santala alone, if we're moving him, a first and a third. Okay, 2 offers of a first and a third. Second, third, Berggren. First and a 6th. Poitras, third and a 4th. Second and a 4th. All right, so the best offer is probably a first and a third there from the Canadians. Okay, so that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Looking forward to the AGM thoughts. Thanks for being a part of this series. It's getting too many years since that Stanley Cup, though. We got to get into that dynastic conversation. We're not even getting out of the first round. We have a lot of years left that we want to have here in Detroit, but it's going to be cut short if we can't get over that first hump. So thanks for watching. Leave that like if you haven't already, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell to be notified when all those franchise mode episodes and live stream content comes your way. I'm really at a loss for words, so I look forward to reading yours and seeing you once again in the next one.
nicht diese Töne, sondern lasst uns angenehmere anstimmen. Und Freude